Hello, hello. This is Brianna from BLBudgeting. If you're new here, I like to talk all about debt, savings, budgets, and cash envelopes. I've paid off between $40,000 and $50,000 in debt over the past 4 years. And now, although I'm not 100% debt free, I am on a savings journey while I pay off the rest of my debt this year. Today, I'm going to go over the new budget planner that I made for myself and show you how I plan out my monthly budget for February. I'm married with no kids, just a cat and a dog, and me and my husband split the bills. And then I work full-time in a lab, and then I also have an Etsy shop. All right, so, and then I have some stickers. I've never really used stickers too much, but I bought a whole bunch a while ago, and I'm gonna try it out, see if I don't want to clutter it, but I just want to see if it makes it pretty. All right, so I made this. So there are 2 sheets in here that are from a different creator, but the rest of it I did make just to kind of customize it. So this is from MyLifePlans on Etsy. And I thought that this was just nice. I really like to see like a broad overview before I jump into the whole month and the planning and everything like that. Okay, so first week, let's start here, February. I have to return an Amazon package. I don't want to miss that window. And I have to get plane tickets. I have to go to a wedding. Then week 2, we have Valentine's Day. And the birthday here. So I'm trying to put anything that's money related on here. This planner is going to be strictly just for money, and then I have another planner that's going to be general like overall life planning and meal prepping and workouts and things like that. So I don't have anything for week 4. To save money, I want to remind myself to shop my kitchen first. And meal plan, because January I bought so much takeout, and I literally just think it's because I didn't buy things at the grocery store that I really wanted to eat. I just bought what I think that I should be eating because it was healthy, but it wasn't anything good. So I need to actually find out what I like that's healthy. All right, so for the calendar, I'm just gonna put everything. I'm gonna put all of my bills, my paydays, and then anything that I might spend money on that I need to pay attention to, and just make sure that I'm ready. If you don't have a disc-bound planner, I think that you should get one because they are the best. Okay, so all right, so I have put down all of my bills, and then I also have a birthday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy anything. I don't really buy too many presents. Like as I was paying off debt, it's not really what's most important. If it was a kid, yes, I would buy a gift, but this is for my stepmom. I'm probably just gonna actually visit her. So I have the bills, I have the birthday, and you're right, payday. Actually, you know what? I got these cute little things. You know what? Let me do Valentine's Day first before I forget. I did want to put this down. We don't usually celebrate Valentine's Day, but I am going to get him something this year. I get paid on Fridays. Oh, these are cute. It brings some color, even though I thought my last planner was a little bit too busy. I like this. Okay. I took off work yesterday. Yesterday was the 6th. I'm not going to use those. Yes, cash envelopes. Oh, so let me show you where I got these in case you like them. So these are from Plan to Plan Sticker Co. I got a whole bunch from her, and she has so many different ones. And like this is the 52 or 100. I forget how many jars this is, but it's like the 52 week challenge or 50 envelope challenge, things like that. You start at $1 and then you increase. And then this one, I was just going to write down every time that I'm able to save, because that's what I'm really focusing on right now. I'm just going to put this little guy on my calendar. These were just really cute. I like the style of them. And then this is for cash envelope stuffing. And then the other person that I got stickers from, oh, this is also her. I've never used washi tape, but it's so pretty. Like these are all little tiny individual ones. The other one that I got was from Casey Lee Designs, and these are actually more like personalized custom ones. So I got a whole bunch for all my different bills. Since I already wrote them down, I'll probably use these next month. But actually, if you're watching, I paid off my car and I got these car loan stickers. So if you're interested, just leave a comment, let me know, and I will send you these for free in the US only. Yeah, just let me know, because I'm not going to use them, and they're cute, like little watercolor cars. All right, so what is next? I'm just gonna put some flowers, and then we'll move on to the monthly budget. This is not super important to me. I hate wasting things, and I bought all of this stuff, and I spent a lot of money on everything and never used it. Oh my God, that is so pretty. I don't have the fancy tools that you see other people using. Okay, anyways, so here is my calendar. Okay. Now what I also wanted to do is, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is what I like to try and follow, is that I will highlight my paycheck a certain color, and then highlight all of the bills the color of the paycheck that I'm paying them with. So for me, it works out really well, just how it came naturally, but I didn't have to change any pay dates. So I have Hulu and the gym, and all of these little like subscription type things. Well, that's my student loans. They're not due right now. I think that they're in deferment, but I've also paid so much extra that the due date is just so far from now. So all of these little subscriptions, they're connected to my credit card, just so I would get like a little bit of points, but also so that I didn't get paid yet in February until the 7th. So technically I would have to pay these with my January income, and I don't really want to do that. So, because I like to try to keep things so like specific and straight, like each from month to month. So with this paycheck on the 7th, I'm able to pay these because they're not going to be late. They got paid by the credit card. So that works out for me. Personal, this is a family member, a loan that I have So I can really pay that anytime in the beginning of the month. And so paying it on this day is never a problem. And then student loans, like I said, I don't really have to pay them right now. So that is how that's going. I don't mean to share too much, but my dog is sleeping behind me, and she's got some serious gas. It's disgusting. All right, bill tracker. Okay, so for the bill tracker, you can honestly, go back to the calendar, or you could have done this first and then did the calendar from here. But I'm also going to put the amounts so that I obviously have to look up. And I'm going to try to write them in order just to keep them kind of clear. Alrighty, so we have Hulu and the gym on the 1st. 105. If you didn't do it around Black Friday, I'm sorry for you, but the $1 a month deal is amazing. All right, Netflix on the 3rd, 1642. When I first started budgeting, I remember Netflix was like $7. So that's not cool. Apple on the 4th, $2.99. Student loans on the 4th. I'm not going to put a payment. Well, yeah, I'll put a payment. Personal. I always just say the 5th, but it doesn't really matter as long as I just, keep it along the beginning of the month. Healthy Paws, that is pet insurance for my dog. Of course, when she was younger, she was a menace and she was so reckless and she got into everything. She grabbed a fishing hook. It went straight through her cheek and she was a puppy. So that was a lot of fun. But I didn't have pet insurance then. And now that I have pet insurance, I mean, God forbid, I hope nothing happens to her, but she's not hurt herself whatsoever. So I'm paying $55 a month, but that's okay because, anything can happen and it's so scary. Google, 12, $2.99. American Express. I'm not going to put payments for that because I don't always owe on them, but I kind of did buy a lot of things in January. Rent. So I will be paying. So Discover is actually, I had foot surgery. The American Express, I will be paying that off this month. Med Ed is our electric. That bill is insane right now. I'm going to say that my portion is $300, but I'm not too sure what that's going to be. Amazon Prime on the 26th. I don't think I wrote that on my calendar. Home Depot is also on the 26th. And then Apple again is on the 28th. $11.65, $29, and $14.99. Okay, so those are all of my bills. And then I did have, this section is for semi-annual and annual. I did have car insurance. I do that every 6 months. That was actually due in February. I think it was due on the 2nd. I was $600 for one car. I guess it's not too bad. And then Mint Mobile, I pay 6 months for my phone plan. I think that is like May. I'm gonna check, but it's usually around $230 for one phone line. And okay, so this is my favorite part when I do the monthly budget, because I get to actually see what I can really pay off, pay down, you know, things like that, and like make a solid plan. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna start. So if you're not sure about making a budget, it can be intimidating and confusing, and you can just get lost in like the little details, but it's really not that difficult. I want to make another video to break it down really well, just how, you know, how easy it can be. So I'm going to start with my income, and typically my paycheck is just over 1,000, but I'm going to just put 1,000 just to be safe, just in case. So I'm going to do pay times 4 because this is for the whole month of February. Pay times 4, the budget is what I'm expecting to get. You want to put the worst case scenario here. So I'm going to put the lowest amount that I expect to get paid. And then for bills that might vary, like my electric bill, I want to put a higher amount just to make sure that I'm covered in case, you know, something else is a little bit off. I just want to make sure that I have that covered. And then what you'll also have is any income that you're using, like your rollover, anything that's in your account, that counts as income for the next month because you're going to use it for your bills, or you're going to use it for savings, or you're going to let it sit in your account as a buffer. So essentially you count that as income. And then any savings that you're going to use. Like I did pay my car insurance recently, and that was already saved up. So that also counted as income. All right, so I don't normally have this much rollover, but this is because last month we had 5 paychecks, because there was 5 weeks in the month. I had 5 paychecks, and I didn't really have any debt payments due because I had paid them so many times, like in the beginning of January when the statement already started. So it counted that towards my January debt, even though I've paid it like multiple times in January and December. I just kept chipping away at it. So I didn't make like the full payments that I had planned. I had just covered enough for it to not be due. Plus we had the 5th paycheck. So this, my rollover is usually, I'll be honest, less than $100. And so this is not the norm for me. My rollover was 2448.54. And then I have another video where I was doing a penny challenge. And I counted all of my change, and I actually had $48 in change. So because I know that I have that, I'm going to write that in the budget column and also the actual column. I'm actually going to carry over this one too, because I know that's how much I had. My change, $48.51. $48.51. And then my husband is going to pay rent, his half, rent partial, $775. He always pays that exact amount. And then Home Depot is his debt. So, but he gives me the money and I pay for it. So I'm going to put down 29, but I don't really, that's just the minimum. I don't really know how much he's going to give me. Okay. So this is just what I am planning to have. that should be the worst case scenario always, because you don't want to actually come up short and you have to figure out how to make it up. So always do the lowest income that you know that you'll get. And then you just move forward, write down your bills. This is for the whole entire month. Gym, Netflix, Apple. I write HP, that's the Healthy Paws pet insurance. Google, rent, MetEd, Apple. And I have Apple written twice because it's for 2 different subscriptions. They're 2 different amounts. And if they were due on the same day, then I would just put them together, but they're actually due at different times of the month. So I like to keep that separate. This is 15, that's 1642, that's 299. Google, 299. Now, because I'm including his rent partial that he gives me, his half of the rent, I'm going to write down the total amount of rent that we are paying together, not just my half, because that is what would make sense. It would be very, very messed up if I said I was only paying $775, but he's also giving me $775. So you have to look out for things like that. That'll really mess you up. I'm just estimating this much for our electric bill. It's been so cold, so the heat's been blasting. $105 and $14.99. Okay. All right, so our total is $1969.51. And I really like to have a leftover box here. So what I'm going to do is take my total income, subtract just my bills, and then I know how much I have left for things like savings, debt, variable expenses, appointments. If you have an event like a birthday, a wedding, baby shower, or if you're just going out with friends, like you should always just make sure that you have money, because you don't know always what you're going to do. Something might come up and somebody might just randomly say, hey, let's go grab food, even though we were just going to hang out at the house. So just always try to be prepared as much as you can. That's also a really good sinking fund, just to have one for like fun or just like backup money for things like that, things that don't happen all the time. That could happen and it's not scheduled or planned. So 7301.05 minus 1969.51 equals, that is correct, 5331.54. And then I also have a column for paid because I like to check it off. And then if I'm like 3 weeks into the month and I've had a really, really busy day and I didn't plan out my paycheck budget, I want to just quickly see what bills are not paid yet, what bills might be due. I could look at my calendar, but I don't generally cross off things on my calendar. I'd rather look here, see what's due, and then I'll fill in the due dates. After this video, I'll fill in the due dates just to help that. Now, so I also have these just as like another reminder to myself. I really want to try to stay under my takeout budget. Whoopsies. Stay under takeout budget. And then return, dress, and buy plane tickets. So then, and a lot of monthly budget trackers that I see are just 1 page. That is not enough for me, not enough at all. So I knew that I had to make one that was 2 pages because I don't want to be limited to how many savings I could have, or what if I did have like a whole lot more bills and things like that? So next I have variable expenses. Now this is usually, I pretty much fill up everything in this column, I think, except for one line. These are going to be things like groceries, gas, pet food, takeout, toiletries, household items like toilet paper, things that you don't spend the same exact amount on every month or every week or whatever interval you're doing. They vary, you know, so you're just not sure, but you're going to try to estimate and put a limit kind of on it just so you don't go crazy. And so you know how much you can afford. That's why you're doing the monthly budget. You should always have a miscellaneous category, always, 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 just in case. Or a buffer, if you're okay with using your buffer for some small things that pop up. But I'd rather have like separate money rather than a buffer. Budgeting. So I like to buy budgeting supplies, support other Etsy shops. I love, 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 love things like that. Right now, I'm actually waiting for a package from Simply Budgeted, and I'm super excited for it. I can't wait. Etsy, this is supplies from my shop. I, of course, sell budgeting materials. I've been like obsessed with budget planning for years, and people that I would talk to about it, they would just say, "What is that?" So I'm really glad, really, really glad that I found my people on Instagram. Just kind of makes me feel more, you know, accepted. These are my people. Okay, so pet sitting. I only use this for 1 week per month. Another thing that you should always be saving for is things like holidays, birthdays, things that, like, you know that this is coming. It's the same time every year, like Christmas. Some, you know, people have a Christmas sinking fund all the time because it creeps up on you, even though you know it's coming. It's very easy to not be prepared for something like that. What's wrong? Fun. It's going to do 50, and then I do have a Microsoft subscription. It's only once a year. I should put it on my bill tracker though. That would be a much better idea. So that plus 50 plus 74.19, 1368. Yes. And then again, I'm going to subtract and see how much I have left for the rest of the things that I would like to pay for and buy and save in this month. So here I had my total income, what I think that I'm going to get, the worst case scenario. I have all of my bills added up, and then I take my total income minus my bills. I wrote down what was left over. Now I'm going to take what was left over, subtract my variable expenses, and see what I have left. 5331.54 minus 1368.19. So that is 3963. Sinking funds and savings. So if you don't know what sinking funds are, it's saving for things that you know are going to happen. Unlike savings, savings is kind of more general, and it's like, it could be an emergency fund. It could be a house down payment when you're not really like, you're not buying a house next month and you're just starting to save for a house right now. You know, savings is kind of like long-term and broad. Sinking funds is very, very specific. Like, just so that I was prepared. And like my car insurance, that's $600 twice a year. So I'll just save $100 per month. And I can afford that. I can do that. That makes it much, much easier, much less stressful. So I'm going to take this minus that, and that will give me what I have left for my debt. And I like to do a zero-based budget, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's really just having a plan for literally every single dollar that you are allotted to that month. So You're not leaving $0 in your bank account, but you're planning that 90% of your money is going to go to bills, sinking funds, savings, and then 10% is your buffer. You're specifically leaving that in your account. You're not going to have it in your account and then just say, you know what, I'm going to go to Starbucks and then I'm going to go to the library and then I'm going to grab dinner, because that wasn't planned. You're using your buffer money for something that you weren't planning on buying. And so it's really, it's a good idea to have a buffer. And then it's a good idea to do a zero-based budget so that you're not just letting money sit there and waste away. Or you can consider, instead of a buffer, consider a rollover. If you just like to keep money in there, but you don't really have a specific number, just make it a rollover. You know, it's super like custom to however you want to do it. So my current sinking funds, plain wedding, I'm gonna do 700. I'm only able to do that because in January, I basically had 2 paychecks that I didn't do anything with because I had an extra paycheck for the month. So I'm able to afford that, but on a regular month, I can't swing $700. Emergency, I'm gonna do 140. And then, like I said, progressive, my car insurance, just do 100 a month. And then, you know, I can almost forget about it because it's covered. I don't have to stress when it's time. Mint Mobile, I'm gonna do 180. I'm getting my hair done next month. Annual, 1K. I don't know what I'm gonna put that towards, but like I have a whole bunch of savings challenges that I bought. And this is gonna be my emergency fund. So there's 6 trackers, and I'm just gonna knock out, since I have that extra money from January, I'm just gonna knock out level 1 of 140 towards my emergency. And level 1 has all of these different little amounts. When I go to level 2, I'm probably gonna check it off and actually like have fun, you know, throwing money at it instead of just knocking it all out at once. That's not as fun. This was a custom order that I had for BeezysThings. I just wanted a way to save $1,000, you know, in a cute, pretty way over the whole year. So she made me these, and it's 2 months on every card. So I have 6 cards. So I put, this is my annual 1K savings. I put 210, and that's going to cover January and February. So then I don't have to worry about that until March. And taxes. I have no idea how much I'm going to owe on taxes or if I'm going to get back. I'm not good at that stuff, but I did open my Etsy shop and I had like a decent amount of sales. Did I put money away for taxes? No. Why would I do something smart like that? So what I did, I previously made this budget. What I did is that I put down everything that I wanted to pay and how much I wanted to put towards everything. And then whatever money I had left, I'm going to throw at taxes. So that's another thing. If you have overtime, if you sell something on Marketplace, you should know before you get that money what you're going to put that money towards. So for this month, any extra money, my plan is just to put it towards taxes, just to be safe, just to be prepared, so I don't have to worry about it, because all of my other things that I've been stressing about, honestly, are covered. I have a hair appointment that's, you know, going to be kind of pricey in March next month. And then I need to buy plane tickets to go to Arizona. And then, you know, car insurance, that's going to be covered, things like that. So yeah, always have a plan for any extra money that you're going to get. Okay, this is 1786.65. And again, I'm going to take what was left over here. Whoops. 3963.35 minus 1786.65. That is 2176.17. And now I know that that is exactly what I have left for my debt. I'm paying off some credit cards. I forgot. Yeah, I was paying off 2 credit cards from January because I had some things come up, and then I was also kind of dumb and just spent a lot of money on some things. I'm focusing on savings, sinking funds, being prepared for things, and then I'm going to nip it in the butt. I'm paying that debt off right away. For my Etsy shop, if you ever have a side hustle that is a hobby, it is very hard to not spend a whole lot of money on supplies and just new pretty things to make more pretty things. I've spent so much. I don't even know. So I'm going to pay off what I spent, but I'm sure that there's other things that I spent that I bought for my shop. Anyways, sorry, I got off track. So for debt, American Express, that was 500. That's going to just about pay it off. And then I had some points coming back. Discover, that is my priority debt. That's why it's such a high payment. Your credit is $250, but these are both balance transfers, so they don't have any interest, but they're both due in May before they start accruing interest. So I do want to do a video about putting your debt in proper order. So kind of like organizing it and just making a solid plan to pay it off, because if you don't have a plan and you just willy-nilly pay the minimums, charge a little, pay the minimums, it's not really going to get you anywhere. So I think it's very, very important. And that's how I paid off a lot of debt. I was really, really strict with my money. HD is Home Depot. I was really strict with my money, but I had a solid plan that I followed. And of course, you know, sometimes we all go off track a little bit. But in the end, because I paid off so much money, I succeeded in my plan. You know, you can't just think that you're going to do 100% all the time. Just if you move forward, that's the best thing that you can do. All right, so that is exactly that. That means that everything checks out. Leftover is 0. Now this is my plan. Of course, things happen, but at least I have a plan so that I know if, you know, let's say my electric bill is a lot more than $300. I can look at this and say, all right, well, what can I take from? Because I have to pay that bill. I can decrease my grocery budget a little bit. If I don't need any toiletries, which I don't this month, I can just wipe that $20 out. I'm not gonna, you know, just because I allotted $20, I'm not going to so early in the month go to the store and walk around the aisle of hair care and say, like, what can I buy with this money? That's essentially what you do when your money is burning a hole in your pocket, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, this is my favorite because I like literally right now, I just feel so much better and so much more prepared for the month than, you know, rather not being prepared and not knowing, you know, how well the month is planning to go, if that made any sense. Okay, so this, yep, this is going to go right here. I seriously love disc bound planner. You can just change it whenever you want. Okay. Now next, so I'm not going to fill this out right now. I don't really have anything to fill it out. I think I paid 2 bills. So I'm just going to fill that out off camera, but I have 2 different checking accounts that I use because I like to keep things a little bit separate. And this is, so you'll put your account name here, your beginning balance, that is what you rolled over into the month. And if you have like a cash envelope or something that you're going to deposit into your account, you want to make sure you add that there too, because you're using it for bills, for savings, for something. You're using that money. So you just want to make sure that you have it down so that it can be part of your math and everything will check out properly. The date, the category, so this, you know, could be like groceries, gas, pets, holidays, anything like that. Description might be what store you went to or what you bought, like in general, food, pet food. Then you subtract from your balance or you add to your balance. And then I There were a lot of account trackers or spending trackers out there that they didn't have a balance column, and that's very important to me because I don't have a buffer, not too much like right now. I only have that money because in January, like I said, I did not really use my last 2 paychecks like I had planned. I let them sit there because I wanted to focus on savings. I was paying off debt strictly for so long and something almost happened to my car where I would have needed a lot of money. I would have had to charge it. It's not a healthy balance. So I said, I'm not putting all this money towards debt when all of my minimums are paid for the month. I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to make a plan. And I did. I made a plan. I'm so proud of myself. I'm such a bad saver. And I'm actually going to do what I think is best for me. Credit card purchase tracker. This is very important because things come up. Like I had to buy that Amazon dress. That was a bridesmaid's dress that was specific that my sister picked out. I can't use cash for that. Certain bills, like I have the Netflix, the pet insurance, things like that. I'm not using cash for those either. I'm not using cash for gas. So that will go here. You have the date, the description, the category, the amount, and then I'm going to check off if I paid it back because I have not been responsible for so long with my credit card. So I need to make sure that I'm paying these back. And then paycheck tracker. This is going to be really specific for your 1 week or, 2 weeks if you get paid every other week, things like that. This is literally just what you're paying. So this is short and sweet. And this can be very, very helpful if you're not sure how to close out your budget. So basically, closing out your budget is just making sure that you tracked everything properly. And you can even break it down to look at your goals and see if what you really spent your money on is aligned with your goals. So when you close out your budget, you're going to write down what you had planned to do and then what you actually did and then the difference. Now, it can be a little confusing to get it all written down, but that's why you are planning it here so that most of it is already written down for you. And like on the trackers, I'm going to highlight things. Like all of my grocery lines will be green or red or whatever color it will be. And that will make it easy to add up every grocery purchase to put it here. So then I know that my limit or my goal was $400, but I spent $380. Wow. So I had $20 left over. That's good. And then if I saved more than I had planned, that would be the opposite. But basically, you just want to look at your goals and make sure that you're really going towards your goals. And then at the bottom, just a little tiny blurb because I really like to see it all together, added up in a chunk. The total money that I was able to save because I'm a horrible saver. So I would love to just see that. And then the total debt paid. And then this will be for my cash envelopes. So you'll put the category here. I don't really want to use the little trackers in my envelopes. They're just, I don't like having them and using them like that for whatever reason. I don't know. Like I like these trackers. I'll put this in an envelope, but I don't really want to use like the white envelope, the white trackers that people put in there. So here I'm going to have the category and then, what I spent the money on, how much it was. And I like to try to keep track of the balance because I can't always, like let's say my cash envelopes are in my binder over there, but I'm using my planner to plan out my next weekly paycheck. I just really like having this on a big sheet of paper, all of my trackers here at once. I also have it on the back. It just seems more useful to me like that. But anyways, I know I rambled a little bit, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your goals are for February. Are you paying off debt? Are you trying to save like me? Are you trying to pay off a bill? Are you trying to save for something specific, like those plane tickets that I have to buy? What are your goals and how are you going to get there? You have to make a plan Just use realistic numbers. Don't say, I'm gonna cut my grocery bill in half, and then you're starving, so you go and buy takeout. Be realistic. Make small jumps. If you're trying to pay off more debt, don't put all of your money towards your debt on week 2, and then week 3 something comes up. Try to leave extra money in your budget for things, backup money, things that pop up that you didn't expect. And I promise you, you will make progress. You will definitely make progress. So I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. Show your support. And please leave me any questions that you have, any future videos that you want. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye.